Hi everyone and welcome to Laura Talks MS. As always, I hope that you're all keeping well. Today I want to talk about food because food is so important to our minds, our bodies, our health, and even more so now, people kind of understanding the correlation between foods and how they may be able to help people with certain types of diseases. A long time ago, my mum gave me a book, and this book just really made me understand how food has such an impact on our bodies and on our health. And the book is called New Developments for MS Sufferers, and I really recommend this book to anybody who has MS, and I do always kind of tell people about it because the guy is such an inspiration. And it's just an amazing read. And if you do get this book and you read it, his story is incredible. And the story between his relationship and diet and how diet has helped him overcome his MS is just, it's amazing. So it kind of spurred me on to think, well, why don't I give it a try? And he talks about a gluten-free diet, but it's kind of mixed in with the paleo diet. So I did it and I wanted to try it, and I want to share my experience with you, and I want to share what worked for me and some of the things that didn't work for me. So it kind of gives you an idea of what to think about and maybe let you make up your own mind about whether this might work for you. So I did the diet for 7 months. This was quite a few years ago, and the diet itself was basically cutting out kind of pretty much everything. It was cutting out anything gluten, and gluten is the protein which is found in wheats and grains. And then it's also cutting out things like dairy and definitely refined sugars, so anything like your cakes, your sweets, and also things like any processed foods, anything like that. So I know that it sounds like a lot, and at the time it was quite overwhelming, but actually when you get used to it, it's really, really easy. And it's like anything, if you do it day in, day out, it becomes routine and then it becomes really easy. So I started doing it, and I will be totally honest with you, for the first 4 to 6 weeks, it was really difficult. My body was going through sort of still craving sugar, and it was going through, things being cut out, which it really, really craved. And for that period of time, it was difficult. And obviously people were still trying to give you cakes and sweets, but you have to just be strict because you have to know why you're doing this. And after you get over a certain period, so after I think it was 6 weeks for me, I was fine. I was home and dry, and my body stopped craving all the things that it was kind of used to, and it just become easier. So what did I find? So it wasn't until I would say about the second month that I noticed a bit of a difference in my fatigue levels. So I was feeling more energetic throughout the day. I wasn't getting so tired. So normally I would get tired around about sort of 2 o'clock. Maybe it was stretching out to say like 4, 5 o'clock. And it was interesting. But I didn't really notice any difference in my symptoms changing. So I still had, numbness, I still had tingling all over my body. So it wasn't changing anything like that. But to be honest, if you read this book, you will know that he literally put his heart and soul into it. And, it's something that you have to do. It's all or nothing. And actually, he didn't see results until 3 or 4 years later. And you're probably thinking, that's a long time. But the body takes a long, long time to adjust. So what else was happening for me? The things that weren't so great is that I struggled to find things to make quickly for breakfast and for lunches until I found smoothies, and then that was brilliant because they're really quick and easy. But it was going to work and preparing things and making sure I had something to take, rather than, you just couldn't take like a sandwich unless you were having gluten-free bread. You can pre-buy gluten-free bread, but it's really expensive, or you can decide to make it, but again, that's time consuming. So unless you have time on your hands to do it, it's all very different. It just depends on the person. I also started to realise, after reading up about this diet, that you can become very deficient in a lot of vitamins and minerals because you're not receiving all the foods that you once were eating. So, for example, the exclusion of nutrients and all the other things that included fibre can lead to diabetes and heart disease. And I'm not saying that, just because you follow that, that's what's going to happen. But I was very, very aware of it. And also I was losing an awful lot of weight. So I just become more aware of it. And I felt like after a period of time, it wasn't the thing for me to follow, because there wasn't, even though I was experiencing less fatigue and a bit more energy, there wasn't enough to justify the pros, if that makes sense. There are great things to eat on this diet. So the things that you will be eating a lot of are like lots of lean meat, loads and loads of fruit, loads of vegetables, loads of like nuts and seeds and herbs and spices, and just really, really good healthy things. And you can choose to follow just the gluten-free diet, or you can choose to follow this other diet which is in this book, which is more like the paleo diet. But again, this is the thing, this is all your choice. You have to do what works for you. Because for me, now I follow something which works for me, which is more foods including anti-inflammatory, because that's what I feel is right for me. And I can include other foods which I feel don't cause an issue for me. Because really, in effect, the gluten-free diet, you're following more like a celiac diet. There's no harm in trying these things, because I think it's good to try them to see how your body's going to react. So in summary, I'd say that the pros to this diet is that it's very clean eating. You're eating very good, fresh, healthy produce. And of course, if you want to lose weight, then that's another really good thing as well. The cons for me is that you probably have to do it over a long, long period of time. You have to be really dedicated to this. And I found that it was difficult creating meals. This is just my personal opinion. And also I felt like I was becoming a bit deficient in certain aspects of this diet. But again, like I said, what didn't work for me may work for you, and what works really well for everybody else may not work for me. We're all really different. So, give it a go, because I think it's just an experimental thing, and you have to find the thing which works for you and your body. I'm going to talk about the anti-inflammatory diet which I follow, and I want to talk a bit more about supplements as well, which I include into my daily routine, because supplements are so important, I think, especially for us MSers who are deficient in some of them. So I'll mention that, but I won't do it here, because otherwise I'll be making a 20-minute long video, and I already am aware that most of them are very long, so sorry about that. But I hope this has helped in some way. If I have missed anything off, please drop comments below if I haven't answered anything. Hope it's helped you, and I hope you all have a good day, and see you soon. Bye.